Buckle up, friends, and welcome to the Thriving Alcohol-Free Podcast. I'm your host, Deb, otherwise known as Mocktail Mom, a retired wine drinker that finally got sick and tired of spinning on life's broken record called Detox to Retox. Let this podcast be an encouragement to you if alcohol is maybe a form of self-care for you, where you find yourself dragging through the day waiting to pour another glass. I am excited to share with you the fun of discovering new things to drink when you aren't drinking and the joy of waking up each day without a hangover. It is an honor to serve as your sober fun guide, so sit back and relax or keep doing whatever it is you're doing. This show is produced for you with love from the great state of Kentucky. Thanks so much for being here and big time cheers. Okay, we are back. Elaine of Mocktail Hour is in the house. I am so happy you're here, Elaine. This is so exciting.
It's a dream come true, honestly. I can't believe I'm here after I just started this, back in May? Yeah.
Incredible. Okay, yes. So I am going to read your bio, but you have just splashed into the Instagram mocktail creator scene. It is so fun to watch you. I love the drinks that you make. Your energy and enthusiasm just pours out from your page. So everybody make sure that you're following Elaine. If you're not following her, her Instagram handle is Elaine Mocktail Hour. So make sure you're following her. Her website is mocktailhour.ca. Is that right? You're up in Canada.
Yes, I am in Toronto, right in the heart of it.
Oh, I love it. I love it. We love having Canucks in the house. So welcome.
Yes.
All right. Elaine spent 7 years in the hospitality industry as a bartender and bar manager at various venues within Toronto. From creating cocktail menus for upscale cocktail bars and working at clubs, she suffered through substance abuse. She's been sober since January of 2024. I get chills saying that. So congratulations and happy 1 year soberversary. She quit her last bar job in May of 2024, and she's been a full-time content creator ever since, working with non-alcoholic brands to further elevate the mocktail world. And I can't thank you enough for being here today. It gives me chills to say that you're, on your sober journey, and it is just so, so exciting. So congratulations to you. And you're newly engaged. I see a ring on that finger there. Yes.
Thank you so much. Yeah, it was a big surprise. It was only probably, I think 2-3 weeks ago now, 2 weeks ago.
Okay.
Yeah. He was also in the industry as well. Like we had known each other, from the club, like the club bartending, because it's such a small industry here in Toronto. Okay. So everyone knows everybody. But we kind of actually went sober almost around the same time without even really knowing each other, and then reconnected, and here we are.
Oh my gosh. Okay. Congratulations. I can't wait to see the drink menu, the mocktail menu for your wedding.
Yes. Yeah. I'm definitely going to create something.
Yeah. There's going to be some amazing signature drinks at your wedding. I know that. So how did you get started in the industry becoming, a creator of cocktails?
So actually, I started when I was 19. So I was a makeup artist at Sephora, like 17, 18. And then I ended up I dated this guy who was like a bartender in Toronto. And I was like, I grew up right outside of Toronto, and I was like, this is such a big city. I fell in love with the city immediately.
Really?
So I started off trying to find little odd jobs, because it's kind of hard, especially in Toronto. It's such a saturated market. Okay. So you kind of have to start off as a hostess or something. But then I ended up getting a job at a dive bar in this place called Kensington Market. It was I walked in my first day of work, and he goes, okay, so these are your light alcohols, your vodka, your gin, your white rum. These are your darks. I'm going to go get drunk now. The floor is yours.
No.
And so,
no.
Yeah. So from there, I ended up actually moving upstairs on top of the bar.
Oh my God.
And I had a fire pole going down to work. So
no, you didn't.
Yes, I did. And on top of that, I'm 19 years old, and I have free reign to drink as much as I want because there's no computers. It's a dive bar, right? It's socially acceptable, especially if you're in Toronto, to drink and get drunk while you're at work. So I ended up doing that. And it's even though I drank a lot at work, it also taught me how to run a floor really well, because I was usually alone, and we would have, club events, house music events, that kind of thing. Wow. So from there, because I had that experience under my belt, it was very easy for me to start working in more of a cocktail bar setting. It was kind of almost like fake it till you make it. If they say, do you know how to make a Moscow Mule? And I had never made one in my life. I'm just Yeah. Like I'll
Oh,
just
yeah.
Google it, right?
Yeah. Do you go behind the bar and like you're Googling like Moscow Mule?
Yeah, well, but actually, like in my first cocktail bar, I was so nervous that I ended up actually just studying a bunch of the classics. So like I memorized the Manhattan, the Old Fashioned, the Negroni, like literally Moscow Mule, everything under the sun that was a classic. And when it came time, I was just like, okay, like after you get a few reps under your belt of making that classic, it was great. So by the time I was like 24, I ended up managing like my first bar and creating a menu for them. And it just kept going. And like, by the time I was like 26, 27, it was almost getting like, yes, I was managing bars and I was a really fast bartender, but it started kind of getting dark because I was just always drinking at work. And then also in Toronto, it's socially acceptable to maybe partake in something else than just alcohol while you're at work, right? So it does take a toll on you very fast, and you can either let it break you or you can thrive from it. So I decided to one day just make a mocktail just for me.
Really?
And I was like really craving, this was when I was already sober, and I was like, man, I really want an espresso martini. And I walked into our place called Cocktail Emporium, which like all bartenders love going to. And I found, I think it was like an amaretto or something like that. And I remember just being like, oh, I should try that. Like, that sounds really cool. And I didn't even know about the non-alcoholic world because I had just come from bars, right?
Yeah.
Like, we didn't like making mocktails. In all honesty, like bartenders, like for me, especially like my old way of thinking, if someone ordered a mocktail for me, I was like, dude, why are you here?
Why are you
You know
here?
what I mean?
Yep. Like, what is the point?
Yeah. I was like, what's the point? Like, and on top of that, like, unfortunately, and a lot of bartenders' ways of thinking still is that, like, dude, I'm going to charge you what, $6 for a mocktail. But the problem, and I figured this out later on in my sobriety journey, was that we just didn't have the, like, we don't know that the non-alcoholic bottles exist, right? Like, you could mark those prices up and you could pretty much make as much of a tip as you would as a cocktail.
Right.
So we're slowly starting to catch on in Toronto. Like they're starting to implement more and more non-alcoholic. And I think also with my following, I have a lot of bartenders like that I'm still friends with.
Great.
Yeah. And I'm like, just like seeing little videos of them online, and they're like, it's just like one of my friends is taking a video of like my other friend that's bartending, and I saw a Noah bottle and I was like, oh my God, like that Noah bottle is now at like one of the most popular bars right now in Toronto. Like it's just
really,
yeah, it's great to see that there might just be like, some of the, like the people here in Toronto that are starting to see it. It's starting to flourish. It's definitely not at the same pace as the US, but hopefully soon.
It's incredible. It's incredible. Yeah. To see and to go into the bars and to see the non-alcoholic bottles there.
Yes.
Just the incredible change. I mean, I've only been alcohol free since, December 31st, 2020 was my first day alcohol free. So really all of 2021 was my first year alcohol free. And so now to see so many options is so incredible. Yeah. Okay, as you guys know, I love Gießen 0% wines. Their Sauvignon Blanc is my go-to on a regular basis. They recently launched a delicious sparkling brut 0%, which is quickly becoming a fan favorite. I am so proud to have Gießen as the exclusive non-alcoholic wine sponsor of the Thriving Alcohol-Free podcast. Gießen 0% wines are created through the magic of advanced spinning cone technology to remove the alcohol from their full-leaded wines. The award-winning winemaker Duncan Schuler and his team have done wonders in Marlborough, New Zealand by creating an entire family of 0% wines with all the flavor and deliciousness you expect from traditional, quote, full-leaded wine. Their non-alcoholic wines maintain the aroma and the body to create a low-calorie wine that never contains more than 0.5 ABV. Globally available, look for Gießen 0% wines wherever you shop for your non-alcoholic options. Their family of alcohol-free wines include the most effervescent member of the family, the Sparkling Brut 0%, which is absolutely delicious for any celebration. My personal favorite, although I do love them all, is the Sauvignon Blanc, coming in at only 100 calories for the entire bottle. And not to be missed, the other members of their 0% family, the Riesling, the Premium Red Blend, the Rosé, the Pinot Gris. With Gießen 0% wines, there's a de-alcoholized wine for everyone and every occasion. Give Gießen a try and let me know how much you love it. And if you want to meet their winemaker, go back to episode 33 of the podcast where Duncan Schuler joined me to share about the Gießen story. So how is it now going into a restaurant or going into a bar and when you order a drink, when you order a mocktail, and let's say there isn't a mocktail on the menu, like coming from the perspective of like before, like, why are you here? What is that feeling from a bartender? Like, why are you here?
Well, for me personally, I'm not going to lie. I don't really go to bars that often anymore.
Yeah.
So I haven't come across really that kind of like thing. Because for me personally too, it's almost kind of like a trigger in a way for me to go to a bar. So like when we do go out, it's just like, restaurants that are not really within here. Cause I'm actually like my fiance now and we live,
You're just doing air quotes.
fiance. I'm like, I'm still trying to get used to
so
saying
strange
it.
to say that, right? You're like, you're so cute, Elaine.
Yeah, fiance. Yeah. So I was going to call my boyfriend for 2 seconds. Yeah.
Oh.
So we live still in King in Portland, which is, if anyone knows Toronto, it is, or even people in New York. Like if you say you're from King in Portland, you're like, they're like, you're in the club district. Like if I step maybe like 2 minutes out my door, there's a club or not a club, but like a bar that turns into a club. So because of that, we know everybody, right? Like my fiance and I, we both worked on King Street. That's how we met each other, which is the most like our clubs do bottle service, right? Like they have 4 a.m. last calls. Like we
Wow.
Yeah. So and because of the fact that everyone knew us on this street, we were given kind of almost like we like to call it the keys to the kingdom. So you walk into any bar and immediately they're like, Elaine, you want 3 shots?
Yeah. They're like, we got you.
We got you. You don't have to pay. You just gotta tip the bartender, right? So because of that, we try to just go out for dinner if we do farther away from this area. So I haven't unfortunately had the experience of having that, but I also see that the places that I have gone, even like as far as Mississauga, which is on the outskirts of Toronto, there's mocktails on the menu.
Really?
And they are offering, like, I remember when I went out for dinner with my parents, it was seedlip. So like it was still in the same price range as a regular cocktail. And I was more than happy to pay that.
I think that's good though, just recognizing like this would be a huge trigger, and I think that's encouraging that we all have to figure out what it is for us, like in the very beginning, it was very hard for me to walk into the non-alcoholic bottle shop, because I had to go all the way to the back of the store, walk past all the wines that I used to purchase, and so just recognizing like, okay, this would be a big trigger to go in here.
Exactly. Yeah. It's just like, it's time and place. Maybe like one day when cause again, I'm just been sober since January. So I'm just trying to be a little bit more careful.
Elaine, you're doing great. You're doing great.
Thank you so much. I appreciate it. Thank you.
Great. Yeah. Yeah. And just, I'm so excited for the thousands of people that you are inspiring, especially in the restaurant industry, the hospitality industry. So many people, need to see your shining example of sobriety and the fun that you can have making drinks. So, okay. If you had to pick favorite non-alcoholic spirit, if you could only buy one, is there a favorite non-alcoholic spirit that you have?
Yes. I would say I used to be a big fan of gin. So I would do the non-alcoholic gin from Noah.
Okay.
I find that like the amount of juniper actually really mimics the real gin.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Nice to know. Okay. How about a non-alcoholic beer? Do you like non-alcoholic beers?
Yes. I'm a big fan of beer and pizza recently. And yeah, I don't know. I never was like that when I drank, but yeah, beer and pizza. And I love the Heineken. Yeah.
Okay. And
Heineken Zero is good.
And it's so nice that that's available so many places. I mean, you can find that
literally. Yeah. I don't know. I find that like for me, I can't even tell the difference.
Oh, good. Okay. Very nice. Yeah. How about alcohol-free wine? Do you like the wines at all?
I do like alcohol-free wine. I haven't experimented too much with it. One of my girlfriends actually came out with the Vino collection, where she uses grapes, Tempranillo grapes, which are from Spain.
Yep.
And I made a mocktail menu for her for those. And I tried which one it was, the white wine that she uses. It was so good. So the Vino collection.
The Vino collection. Very nice. And that's Canadian?
That is Canadian as well.
That's perfect. We have people from Canada. How about a ready to drink? Last question.
Kin Euphorics.
Okay.
Yeah, Kin. I know it's the adaptogen functional drinks. That one, I think it's the pink one. I think it's called Blossom. Yeah.
Okay.
Kin Blossom.
The Blossom. Okay. Thank you so much, Elaine. seriously, such a delight to meet you. Thank you. Thank you for being here. Thank you for sharing delicious drinks with the world. And I just am so excited for your bright, bright future. So thank you for being here and sharing.
Thank you so much. Thank you for having me. Honestly, it's such a pleasure and an honor to be on your podcast.
Thank you. Thank you. Yes. So fun. Big time cheers to you for tuning in to the Thriving Alcohol-Free podcast. I hope you will take something from today's episode and make one small change that will help you to thrive and have fun in life without alcohol. If you enjoyed this episode and you'd like to help support the podcast, please share it with others, post about it on social, send up a flare, or leave a rating and a review. I am cheering for you as you discover the world of non-alcoholic drinks and as you journey towards authentic freedom. See you in the next episode.